Well, again, I'm Bill Russell, President of Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce. We have another episode of Around the Lake. Today we have Jessika Tucker. Jessika is the Executive Director of Angels and Sparrows and Resource Center now. But for those who don't know, what is Angels and Sparrows, Jessika, what does your organization do?
So we have two main programs. We are a community table and a resource center. So our community table was our original program where we provide food security to low-income families or just anybody who walks in the door and wants to join us for, a great meal Monday through Friday. And then our resource center is where we house our pathway program, and that's our educational pathways for families that come to our community table.
And how long has Angels and Sparrows been up and running?
So we were established in 2007, but the doors opened in 2008, serving about 25 people a day. And now we're serving well over, sometimes 300 people a day, over 1 million meals, 1.2 million meals later, just a few years later.
Now, the community table and then the resource center in two different locations. Can you share a little bit about both?
Sure. So the community table is right off of Old Statesville Road in Rama. We share a parking lot with New Friendship Presbyterian Church. And then our resource center is right around the corner on Siegel Street. So basically off of Rama Road. You can walk there from the community table.
And talk a little bit about what's the service area that really the resource center serves and then the community table serves.
Sure. So our guests come from primarily Huntersville, Cornelius, and Davidson and North Charlotte to our community table. And then in our pathway program right now, our current cohort is about 79% from the Huntersville area, with the balance being from Cornelius and Charlotte, North Charlotte.
And now the resource center has been up just about a year, right? Didn't we?
Yes,
about a year ago?
last July. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you share maybe one happy moment or one thing that you've seen that's really memorable for you for the resource center that just opened up?
I just love it when we see the kids come in, and especially our teens are, they're shy. It's that awkward age where you're just learning so much and they're maybe hesitant, like the parents are making them come to this program. And then you just see them open up and become so excited when they realize what they're getting out of this, the mentorship and the advice and the guidance on college and career prep. And we've done surveys with them, and just seeing them talk about what excites them. They actually love tutoring. They love hearing from these tutors, guiding them through some difficult subjects, and then maybe helping them decide, the mentors helping them decide on what colleges to attend and answering questions that, is difficult for a parent or anybody really to kind of understand how all this works now. And with these mentors that we have in place, it's just really excellent guidance. And I think that excites the kids, just understanding like, if I'm dreaming of something, I really have a great chance now of actually accomplishing it. Whereas it may have seemed like there wasn't a chance prior to that.
How did you get involved in Angels and Sparrows?
I was a volunteer. I used to volunteer cooking in the kitchen, and just got more and more involved, joined the board, helped with fundraisers. Before Miss Sandy left and retired, she asked me to take over, and was a little hesitant at first, but then it just, God will tell you when you're when you're supposed to make a certain decision, and it was a very clear decision, and it's been the best thing in my life. I haven't looked back once.
And I'm sure you've seen some great things at the community table as well.
Absolutely. I mean, the reason we renamed it to community table is because that's exactly what it is. It was never a soup kitchen. If you go, the people are warm and inviting, and it's a true community there where, I was welcomed when I first started. Other people who walk in the door are immediately welcomed. And it's if you're ever feeling down, you should go join us for lunch. It'll just warm your heart, the hugs, the smiles, the conversations. Fantastic.
I've never asked you, where do you live here in Lake Norman area?
I live in Davidson, actually, kind of on the
Okay.
edge of Davidson and Huntersville.
What is it you like most about living in Davidson?
It's that small town Americana feel. I had one day recently where I ran to Pickle Peach to grab lunch and parked And I got there a little bit earlier than my order was ready. So I walked over to Moxie and my favorite little shop to kind of check out some stuff, and was talking with somebody and going back out. The kids are running and playing, and somebody was playing a fiddle. And it was just such a beautiful environment, just seeing community together and family running around and just having a great day. And I think that's what I love about Davidson. But you also get that feel in Burkdale, or you get that feel in different parts of town in Cornelius. I think the whole Lake Norman area just has that small town feel that, even though we have access to so much, it's very warm and inviting.
Jessika, we couldn't do any of what we do as nonprofits without the help of volunteers. About how many volunteer hours would you say was made up 2022?
I haven't done that calculation because we just now started tracking, but I'll say, we started tracking in April. And what I found, in just 2 weeks, we had over 700 hours of volunteers, volunteer hours in our programming. So it takes a lot of people, but when you're providing, over 200,000 meals a year, plus all these education programs, it's a lot of people who are involved, giving their time and effort to just a great cause. We couldn't do it without them.
For people who are watching this video for the first time and finding out about Angels and Sparrows and maybe want to volunteer, we're going to have information on the end of the video. But what would you say to any of those individuals watching that might want to get involved?
There are a lot of different opportunities. Primarily, they're at the community table, but a lot of different roles that fit different schedules. Whether you have 2 hours, 3 or 4 hours, there are various options that you can fill. And I'll tell you, it was the best part of my day when I was a volunteer. Just absolutely loved it. The fellow volunteers, as well as the guests, are very inviting and warm. And I think people become really good friends while they're there also.
Well, you, Cindy, and Brandy, and your staff and the board are doing an excellent job. We want to thank you for everything you do. Any last comments about Angels and Sparrows or Lake Norman?
We're so fortunate, honestly, that we're located in Lake Norman, because I think that other nonprofits struggle with finding volunteers or finding people to, hear a cause and want to get involved. And I think our area specifically is just wonderful. They react, they respond. When they know there's a problem, people want to jump in and help. And so I say, whatever your area of expertise is, reach out to us, because we probably are in need of it. And you're absolutely welcome to join us.
Well, Jessika, thank you and Angels and Sparrows for all you do to make our community a better place to live, work, and visit. And we want to thank Joe Vagnone, who is a sponsor for this particular program of Around the Lake. Anybody who wants to be involved, there's a Chamber of Commerce member. Get in touch with us, and we'd love to profile your business as well. Jessika, thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.